after doing Americans, David Bowie gets really weird.
Well, yes. Well, the next album is heavily influenced by a little film he was in.
Yeah.
The Man Who Fell to Earth.
So
we should talk about that actually as part of his career at this point.
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, let's talk about The Man Who Fell to Earth for a little bit.
Yeah.
So, as David Bowie as a person, he is moved to, I think, Los Angeles.
Yep.
And basically, he is living on a diet of milk, peppers, and cocaine.
Yeah.
And he becomes a kind of a really weird recluse.
Yep.
He becomes really stickly thin. He almost looks like an alien at this point. You know, he was playing one, and now he is one.
Yeah.
He kind of goes through a really bizarre, strange, spaced out period of his life where he spends most of his time just doing nothing and just being a recluse.
Yeah.
And so, for whatever reason, who directed Man Who Fell to Earth?
Nicholas Roeg.
Roeg.
One of the best directors of British cinema in the 70s.
Yeah.
A very strange sort of. He completely reinvented editing in film.
Yeah.
And then this was after the success of Don't Look Now.
Yeah.
He was able to make one of his probably his most ambitious and bizarre film.
Which is The Man Who Fell to Earth, based on the book.
Yes, The Man Who Fell to Earth.
Which stars David Bowie as an alien who lands on Earth.
Yeah.
And he has to adjust to life on Earth.
Yes.
He tries to understand human beings. He becomes like a celebrity, almost like a Howard Hawks-esque kind of character.
Well, what happens is that he is an alien who comes down to harvest the water on Earth.
Oh, that's it, yeah.
For his country, for his planet even.
Yeah.
Because he's an alien, he has like advantages to humans in terms of technology.
Yeah.
So he invents a bunch of very, very complex technological advancements that advance human race, and he becomes like a millionaire overnight, and he's like he's rich beyond your wildest dreams. However, because of his riches, he becomes distracted from his home planet and becomes an alcoholic, which is just a bizarre character choice. And he becomes distracted. He never goes back to his planet, and he becomes distracted, and eventually
he becomes obsessed with television.
He becomes obsessed with television, and it's just. Basically nothing really happens at that point. He just, spoiler alert, he stays on Earth.
Yeah.
And he records an album.
Oh, he does,
He's one of the
in a really weird meta moments, yeah.
In one of the bizarrest sort of subplots of the film, yeah.
He records an album, yeah.
What the fuck is there to say about The Man Who Fell to Earth?
Well, it's a great film.
It's a classic. It's a classic film. It's a classic example of the kind of sci-fi film that got made before Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you said about the director's use of editing, what's great about this film is that you've got no sense of time or space. Scenes kind of just meander into each other, and like, oh, 6 months has passed.
Yeah.
And he's been living with this weird hotel proprietor person for a while. Oh, I guess we've moved out now, and we've got a little country home. Oh, I guess he's been a recluse now, and the stories of the sets where they describe David Bowie as just being this strange, bizarre presence. He wouldn't really talk to anybody, or the ultimate method actor, I guess.
Yeah. There's some really weird, this film has some of the most iconic images in sort of 70s cinema.
Yeah.
The most iconic one, an absolutely stunning image, is David Bowie topless, with his bizarre carrot top hairdo.
Yeah, his weird hairdo from that time, his red hairdo, yeah.
Yeah, he's sat there completely bored out of his head, just staring at these about 20 computer screens.
Yeah, yeah.
No, television screens. That's a big iconic moment. And to bring him back to his career, I imagine that could have been an influence on that song TVC.
Oh yes,
5.
yes, which we'll talk about in a little bit.
Yes, but geez, it's such a dense film.
Yeah.
This is also the only film where you get to see David Bowie's penis.
Woo!
Yeah, there's a horrifying sex scene where little Bowie is unleashed.
Little Bowie comes out, yeah. One of his more popular characters.
One of his more popular characters. Well, the character of Thomas Newton, I can't remember his full name, is sort of a big influence on this period. Both Station to Station and Low, their album covers are all just stills from the film.
Well, the Low album covers the posters for Man Who Fell to Earth.
Yeah.
It's also a really great visual pun because it's a profile shot of Bowie. The album's called Low. Bowie at that point was keeping a low profile.
Nice.
So see what he did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this, I suppose, leads us into Station to Station.
Yeah. So just a brief summary of that. He's very cold in the film. It's a classic film. He gives a brilliant performance, but it sort of, in terms of the public, it enhances his sort of alien quality.
Yeah, and only helps to alienate his audience even more.
Yes, because if you went into this expecting a fun rollop, God were you wrong.
God were you wrong, yeah.
Yes.
David Bowie famously said that he has no memory of recording Station to Station.
Yeah.
Because he was so spaced out on cocaine and he was so malnourished, he famously has no recollection of recording this album whatsoever.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pain on this album. And this leads to the creation of his final character. Because after that, the mask comes away to an extent, and David Bowie becomes more of a personality.
Yeah.
But this leads to his final great character, the Thin White Duke.
Yeah.
Who is an arrogant piece of Euro trash.
Yeah.
I think that's how we describe him. He's a privileged piece of shit, basically. He gets, he's bored, does all the drugs, but he's got no interest in kind of day-to-day life. But that's how I see the character anyway. I think that's how David Bowie intended him to be seen.
Yeah.
So Station to Station, I think it brings back Carlos.
Definitely does.
Definitely does, because he's a huge influence on the record.
There's a great quote I heard about that time about someone was interviewing him about David Bowie's cocaine use, and he said, everyone did cocaine on those sessions.
Yeah.
And then he said that it was just a thing where David Bowie wanted to record all night, and the only way to meet his sort of schedule was to take drugs.
Jesus.
So apparently no one remembers the sessions.
No one remembers the album. Yeah. But it opens up with basically the announcement of the Thin White Duke with the title track, Station to Station, which is a 10-minute epic.
Yep.
It begins with an amazing which is the sound of a train coming near, and it kind of passes by. It's a great headphones album.
Yeah.
Because you hear the sound effect running across your mind basically, and it's approaching train, and it's got this really weird sickly piano, constant piano effect. Do 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 do. It's not like Jaws-esque.
Yeah.
And it kind of goes into this almost kind of slow ballad at the start where he sings the famous line, "The return of the Thin White Duke throwing darts in lovers' eyes."
Yeah.
And it leads into, I think, one of the best chord changes in any song ever.
Yeah.
Where it goes, dun, 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 once there were mountains and once there. It's like the train speeding up when going out of control.
Yeah.
And he sings another famous line, it's not the side effects of cocaine, I think it might be love.
Might be love.
It's great, yeah. But it's too late to be grateful. It's really awesome. That part just kicks the whole thing into life. He sings amazing lyrics once there were mountains and mountains that crumble to the sea. It's an image of just David Bowie's world crashing around him.
Yep.
It's amazing opening. I've always loved it.
Yep. And then I believe it gets Stay.
No, it's Golden Years.
Golden Years. That's a great song.
That was it. Don't think your life is taking you nowhere. Angel, come on up, baby.
That is such a weird song.
For 1,000 years, nothing can stop us in these golden years.
Yeah.
Do 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 do. It's really weird.
It is.
It's got a great continuous riff.
Yes.
Again, this Carlos guitarist guy.
He was amazing.
He was amazing. He basically said he wanted to give each song an individual feel through the riff.
Yeah.
Which he does on all the songs. Yeah, he's completely right. Each one has its own unique kind of style, and it's set out by the opening guitar riff. So Golden Years is one of the weirdest hit singles of all time. Or certainly of the 70s. Then it's Word on a Wing. Which is do 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 do.
I always get this confused with Wild is the Wind.
Wild is the Wind, yeah.
Which is the last track.
Yeah, this is Word on a Wing.
Word on a Wing.
Yeah, do 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 do. And so it's almost like David Bowie's making a confessional, and he's trying to devote himself to something, but he doesn't know what.
Yeah.
He's trying to devote himself to something like God or religion or something, but he's kind of failing in that.
Yeah.
It's a really sad song, and it's kept by this constant synth sound. It's like dee, I'll play sort of the whole song.
Yeah.
But again, it's covered by this amazing lush guitar sound of the kind of combination of the piano and the guitars and the drum playing, the bass playing, all kind of seems to go really nicely. It's a song I'm really fond of. I really, really like it.
Yeah.
It's like, Lord, I kneel and offer you my word on a wing, and I'm trying hard to fit along the scheme of things. He's trying desperately to, like I said, devote himself to something, but he just can't do it because he's so fucked up. Yeah. Basically. Yeah. Great plea.
Yes. Well, this is one of Bowie's most autobiographical albums, isn't it? Really.
Probably. Yeah. Yeah.
Certainly the most of probably the 7. Apart. Yeah, I'd say it's more even than Low, or like Low is seen as more autobiographical because of the first side, but I think this is more in more of an obtuse way.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I thought he gets to feel more of what he must have been going through at that period.
Yeah. Yeah. Rather than saying, "This is what happened to me."
Yeah.
And laying it all out. Yeah, it's more metaphorical.
Yeah, it's more obtuse and in a way more moving because of that.
Probably. Yeah.
Yes. But yes, also what's to be said about this is that it's full of long songs that are, like there are only 6 songs on here, isn't there?
6 songs, and they're about, well, the longest is 10, and the rest are about 6 minutes.
Yeah.
But really dense songs.
Yeah.
Flip it over if you're on vinyl.
Yeah.
And you go to TVC 15. Oh my TVC 15. Ding 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 ding. Which is we were talking about in the film Man Fell to Earth, where the guy becomes obsessed with the media and becomes obsessed with television. That's kind of what this song's about, and again, it's probably even more relevant now.
Yeah. Because
of the rise of the internet and how addicted people have become to technology. It's all about the dehumanising effects of technology, but it's done as being like this really happy kind of funk song. It's really weird.
Yeah.
Oh my TVC 15. I don't quite know how to describe that one. I guess like Golden Years is such a weird song, because I think it was TVC 15 was a single as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it almost gives the effect that the world is ending, which it must have felt like that for Bowie.
Yeah.
And he just doesn't care.
Yeah.
Like, again, that disconnect between the lyrics and how he's singing them.
Yeah, yeah.
And like that soul sound, it's almost like ultimate in decadence.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, especially if you compare it to the time it was in the 70s.
Yeah, yeah.
And the me generation and that kind of over-the-top decadence. I imagine that might have been what he was going for, to try and capture sort of society at that time was all about more and more and like everything, and that's probably what he's going for with those 2 songs in terms of their sound.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we move on to Stay.
Stay. That's what I meant to say. But somebody. That's a really coal song.
Yeah.
That's a great kind of the evolution of the songs that were on Young Americans, but I call the genre, because Plastic Soul is Young Americans, I call Station Station fucked up funk.
Fucked up funk.
Fucked up funk, where it uses the kind of genre staples of funk music, but David Bowie's completely destroyed like those aspects of the genre. Like, I've never heard a funk song quite like Stay.
No.
Where, again, you know, like a huge part of the lyrics of kind of funk and soul music is almost like the enticement.
Yeah.
You know, kind of like, you know, come into my world and you'll be okay, like a Marvin Gaye's character. While Stay is more like, stay with me. Don't go. Don't leave me. I'm pathetic. I can't do anything. Just stay with me, please.
Yeah.
You know, it's obvious it's in the title, but it's quite it's quite a statement, especially for that kind of, again, that genre of music and a lyrical style that people are more used to.
Especially, you know, with David Bowie.
Yeah,
because, you know, it's like Ziggy, he's all like, come on, baby.
Come into my bed. I don't care if you're a boy or a girl.
Exactly, but
or
now...
straight or gay.
Now that he's pleading for someone to stay with him, it's quite an evolution over 4 years.
Yeah, yeah. Again, but incredible. In the space of 4 years, he's moved from glam rock into whatever the fuck Diamond Dogs is, into soul, and then into funk, and then the next year he'll go into experimental electronica.
Exactly.
Like, seriously.
It's mental, isn't it?
He's such a talent. I can't quite, like, I'm loving doing these Bowie reviews, by the way, because like all my appreciation for him is just coming out.
Yeah.
All in one. But that leads into the final track of the album, which is Wild is the Wind, which is another fantastic song.
Yeah, this I think has some of... this is one of my favourite moments in a Bowie song, which is where it stops and then he goes... don't you?
Oh yeah,
because it stops completely, and it's like a big. It's very glammy almost in a way because it's so dramatic.
Don't you know your life? It's so.
It's amazing, especially the drum bit.
Yeah, the drum fills are great.
Yeah.
You love me, don't say you do. Again, it's almost like a yearning for lost love, but he doesn't.
This is a Nina Simone cover, isn't it?
I think so.
It's a cover.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's a cover, isn't it? But it's again, David Bowie makes it just completely his own.
But I've never heard the original.
I never heard it. Yeah, I couldn't even imagine what the original's like.
No.
But he completely makes it his own. You know, he's like, our love is like the wind. He doesn't know where it's gone. It might not have even been there in the first place. Whatever it is, it's just disappeared and escaped him.
Yeah.
And that kind of sums up the whole album, really. Like, you always feel like David Bowie is chasing after something, he's singing about something, but he doesn't know what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He wants something, he needs something, he's lost something, but he doesn't know exactly what that thing is.
Yeah.
And that gives the album an intense melancholy and a really intense sadness to it.
Yeah.
Which I adore.
Definitely, yeah.
So, probably the first 10 out of 10.
We gave Ziggy a 10.
Yeah, the first 10 out of 10 since Ziggy.
Yep.
Station to Station is like a monolith of an album.
Yeah.
It's got such an incredible production, and the lyrics are just so ambitious and ambiguous.
This is also one of the most, what am I going to say, the most influential Bowie albums.
Yeah.
Because there's a huge influence on post-punk.
Yeah.
There's a sort of the angular sort of riffs and sort of strange detachment. And because of his weird vocals and the way they're like that. And it was also a huge influence apparently on like Kraftwerk. With its sort of weird production and like.
Well, he was directly inspired by a lot of the krautrock.
Yeah, like New and Can and stuff like that.
He was directly inspired by a lot of that, which then ironically then feeds back into German music. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I think you can definitely, I think, see a link between this 76's Station to Station to 77's Trans-European Express.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they sound very similar. They even have a similar kind of structure, I think.
Well, we do, yeah. They're all made up of, what, six songs each or something?
6 songs each, beginning with a longer one.
Which is all about travel.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Station to Station is about being on a train, or visualising being on a train. Trans-European Express is also being on a train. Yeah, both about travel by train, yeah.
And that's got that song Whore of Millers, even though Looks in the Looking Glass. That's about sort of fame and celebrity and stuff. I think that album is definitely, I think, inspired by Station to Station.
Very good.
Yeah.
So, Station to Station is like I said, it's a monolith of an album.
It's a classic, one of the sort of, I would say, top 4 Bowie albums.
Absolutely, definitely.
It's a lot of people now. It got mixed reviews at the time.
Yeah.
People didn't know what to do with the album. Thought it was another flop. Didn't give it the time of day. But over time, it's now seen. I would say this actually has a claim of being the best one.
Yeah. People say that. Yeah.
I don't think it is.
I don't think it is.
I don't think it's as good as Low or Ziggy.
I think maybe it's better than Ziggy, but yeah, it's not as good as Low.
Yeah.
But Low's a hard act to top.
Yeah.
But yeah, Station to Station is a stonking classic. And if you love David Bowie, and really love David Bowie, and not just like his hits, you know, this album completely makes sense within the context of David Bowie's career, and just as an album by itself.
Yep.
It's got such a melancholy and such a yearning for something, which again maybe makes more sense even now with this kind of post-war generation, which, you know, they're trying to attain something.
Yeah.
But we don't really understand what it is.
Yeah.
Anyone can relate to that.
Yeah.
So it's just a brilliant album.
It's a 10 out of 10 classic.